Hi, it's Kathy. I'm back again. I'm here to talk about oral delivery this time of cannabis when we're talking about the ways to consume it. So what I mean when I say orally is that it's delivered by mouth. So the most common models of oral delivery are tinctures, oils, food, and drinks. So we'll talk a little bit about tinctures, which is technically liquid cannabis, and they're often homemade. They're made quite commonly with alcohol, but you can use vinegar or glycerol, sorry. The product itself takes between 30 minutes and an hour to kick in, but it can last up to 8 hours. People usually take it under the tongue. They can hold it in their mouth for a little bit of time to let it absorb directly into the mucous membrane. It has a very fast onset. It can be swallowed. There's no odor, but you do have less control over the dosage itself and how you're going to titrate. And that's important. So the next one is when we talk about oils. So oils are the most common medically used product. It's typically used in a syringe that will come with your package once you, if you decided to go with using medical cannabis oil, I should say, and the product would come to you through your licensed producer. With it will come a little syringe, and I'm going to actually have a little bit of a video explaining how that works exactly when it comes to microdosing. But when it comes to the oil, again, it's a similar onset to the tincture. It takes 30 minutes to an hour for people to feel it typically, and it lasts anywhere up to 8 hours. Often it does have a strong taste, so we suggest to take it with something fat soluble, such as cheese or yogurt or milk. The medicine is made in these licensed producers' facilities, so they extract all the therapeutic compounds only, so you know what you're getting is pure, and you know that it has government oversight, so you know what's in it. And more than that, the companies they have to tell you exactly what is in it, so that's really helpful. So they use a variety of carrier oils: coconut oil, sesame seed oil, MCT oil, hemp oil, lots of different types. So for people with sensitivities, it's helpful too, because you can kind of look around for whatever product might be better for you. But certainly it's best used while you're doing your titration to find out how much you do need before you would turn to capsules, which is another product people use. So oil spray is another one, which is basically the oil. It's easy to transport. It's very discreet. The thing about it is difficult to measure. For some people, they would say, so the titration is a bit more difficult, and it can leave a taste in your mouth. It leaves a bad taste in your mouth. No one likes that. Edibles. So certainly now in Canada, it's technically legal for you to have edibles. So the onset, again, it takes a while for these things to kick in. So people are like having half a bite of a cookie, like, this isn't working. They have another half a bite of a cookie, and they've just like way doubled their dose or more so. So be slow, just chill, take a little, relax. It takes, again, 30 minutes, usually minimum, to up to 2 hours it can take. The powerful effects are felt in the head and the body, especially if it has THC in it, so there's the psychoactive component. So it comes in drinks now, and candy, and in food. People even apparently make it into gum. You can have, especially in the States, they're seeing a lot of infused foods that you can cook with and all kinds of things like that. So it is legal here now. So, and it kind of, the way it works here is that each package can have a maximum of 10 milligrams of cannabis in it. So that's a pretty decent amount. That isn't going to be a crazy amount for people, for the most part. I shouldn't say that so like a blanket statement, but I think it's a pretty conservative way to go in, and probably a good idea. So cautions, there's a lot of cautions with edibles because they're pretty and they're yummy looking and they're very attractive to little people. So keep them safely stored and away. Edibles have an unequal distribution of the cannabis itself. So if you're using can of butter or you're using can of oil and you're putting it in your food, that has a better chance sometimes of spreading around, but not always, because when you're mixing up your cookies, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to spread out evenly. So you can have an unequal distribution. So you could have a half a cookie and have one reaction and then have another half and feel completely different. So make sure that you just take a while whenever you do try these things and see how it works. Definitely not recommended for novice first-time users, because once it's in you, it can't come out. Topicals are the next topic I wanted to bring up. So no psychoactive effects from this when you put it on your skin. Most people are using CBD anyway, because it can kind of go into your skin 10 times better and faster than THC could. But the thing about it is, even if you did have THC, you would have to like lather your body in it in order to have any kind of psychoactive effects. So that isn't anything to be concerned with. People really like it because you can keep your clear head, but at the same time you have some localized relief. And then a little bit more, what they're discovering about it is that it's really helpful with itchy skin. It's an anti-inflammatory and anti-aging. It's really good for eczema and dry skin. And these are, again, a lot of these aren't like, hard and fast clinical trials, but this is what some of the empirical data says. But we are getting more and more clinical data as time goes on. But they do have certainly lovely therapeutic properties, and something to certainly be happy and excited about as time goes on and we learn more and more about it. So I won't take too much time on this one, but there are actually vaginal and rectal suppositories too, which can be very good for people at the end of life, in palliative care, say for example, or for those with seizures. They're great for patients who can't smoke or ingest cannabis in any other way. They're actually really good for people who have pain in the vagina or rectal area, as well as the pelvis and lower back, which aren't easy places to treat. They do report less psychoactive effect from it, in particular if you did ingest it or absorb it. So it is also going to avoid first pass the liver. So so that's another consideration, certainly, that's out there. So, and then just in summary again, like we say, if you're looking at taking it in the plant variety via inhalation, you're looking at no time basically, whereas for you to feel the effects. And then on the other hand, when we look at taking it as an oil or ingesting it as an edible, it takes a lot longer. And so the effects will last. So again, how quickly will it kick in, but then how long will it last? So anywhere between up to an hour and a half, and then over 6 hours if you were to use the ingestible type. And the peak sort of, you'll have your peak results when you inhale very, very fast, and then it peters out. Whereas if you have it in an ingestible, it takes its time and it's up there for a while and then it goes out. So that is also something to consider.